Today we're going to talk about ACEs, which is a constructed response strategy that is going to translate not only into your junior paper and into other classes, but also to those constructed responses you're going to have to write on the North Carolina final exam for this class. So, if you're not familiar with ACEs, A stands for answer the question completely. Just reword the prompt. C stands for cite evidence from the text that supports your answer. Quote directly, which means word for word. Put that quoted information in quotation marks and use an in-text citation. For this sentence, use a transition such as for example or for instance. The E stands for explain. So explain the connection between the evidence you cited, C, and your answer, A. Start your sentence with a transition like, this shows that, this proves that, or this supports my answer because. There are multitudes of other transition sentence starters, but these are just good examples. So for an example, my example prompt is, in what ways did Jackie Robinson exhibit perseverance? So in your response, it may help you if you go ahead and type out your ACEs. So if I know that A stands for answer the question, I'm going to answer my question by rewording the prompt and answering the question completely. So, Jackie Robinson demonstrated the traits of perseverance by not quitting the baseball team despite the discrimination he faced. So not only did I reword my prompt, I also answered the question. So what was my question? Jackie Robinson demonstrated the traits of perseverance, or how did he do that? And my answer was by not quitting the baseball team despite the discrimination he faced. C, as I said, is cite evidence. So I need some kind of evidence, maybe a quote, maybe a fact. So I'm going to act like I have a book, and I'm going to say, for example. That's a very good transition into a citation. For example, the author states, and then I'm going to quote this word for word, so I'm putting it in quotation marks. At every game, he had to put up with abuse from the stands, but something inside him would not let him give up. Now, I'm going to use an in-text citation. Let's say that the author's name is Smith, and that this can be found on page 55. After the quotation marks, because this is not part of the quote, I'm going to open parentheses, type Smith, the author's last name, and the page number. I don't need to put page 55, just 55. And then I'm going to close parentheses and put the period. Putting the period after the in-text citation shows me that this citation goes with this particular quote. Now I'm going to explain how my C, my citation, supports my A, my answer. So by not giving up, Jackie Robinson was able to break color barriers and become the first African American to play in baseball's major league, period. So, not only have I explained the connection between my citation and my answer, I've also used a good transition. So as I said, there's a multitude of transitions, but I said, by not giving up, which transitions into my sentence. Jackie Robinson was able to break color barriers and become the first African American to play in baseball's major league. Now this is a fairly short sentence, or paragraph, with only 3 sentences. What I'd like to see is a couple more citations, or at least one more citation, and one more explanation. So if, say, we were reading a book on Jackie Robinson, I would go back to the book and I would find another quote, and then I would explain the quote or the connection between the quote, so my C, and my answer, which was my A. That's it. That's how you write a well-constructed response.